So on this video, I'm going to show you how I prep a gallery depth cradled birch gessoed panel. You can see it's about 1.5 inches deep. I love these. I get them from Dick Blick, and these happen to be a really great price point for some reason. They're excellent quality. This is what I used on the turtle, and I think I bought, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. I bought 3. That's right, and one was damaged, and I called and they sent me another one. They didn't ask for the original one, and it was a very minor bit of damage, so I actually used it. So I'm unwrapping it now, and I'm just going to show you the very first thing that I like to do is put the hanger on the back. I like to just get that out of the way. And I have 2 different screwdrivers dedicated to adding hangers. I've got one with a really small bit. Don't ask me what size. It's one of the smallest ones you can get. And then I've got another one with the Phillips head. So it just makes it really convenient. So I'm going to flip it over and find the center. I'm going to put it here since it's easier to reach. So this is, let me get my larger tape measure. Oh, where is it? Where's my tape measure? Found it! Couldn't find my tape measure. Okay, so I think it's pretty close. It's maybe 1/16 of an inch less than 24. So that's good enough. Oh, I could have used my ruler, never mind. Okay, so half of 24 is 12. And I'm going to use a really strong sawtooth hanger and really deep screws. So these are like 5/8 inch deep screws. That's fine. So let me center this on here. Going the right way? I was going the wrong way. You have to pre-drill, right? Just makes it so much easier. Get it started. And I just like having it done beforehand because then, you know, I don't have to worry. The screw seems a little stripped or something. Okay, so that's how easy it is. Now the next thing I do is I just look at the edges and see if it needs a little bit of sanding. Usually it does need just a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do next. And I've got some 220 sandpaper here, and it just needs a little tiny bit, not much. Just to smooth out any major imperfections. This side actually looks pretty good. Oh, in doing that, I just made a piece kind of chip off. Oh, that's not good. So I kind of made a corner chip off, but what can I do? I'll hit it with resin in the end, right? I mean, that's all it needs, just a little bit, just to kind of smooth it out, take off any weird edges that might be hanging out. And then I'm going to wipe it down real quick. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you this, but I'm going to take it outside. I've got that metal table. It's like a little metal bistro table. Got this crazy Mama Robin that decided to build a nest, and she's protecting her babies in there, I guess. I haven't seen the babies, but there must be babies, right? Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out there on my patio little bistro table, and I'm going to spray the edges with this or any polyurethane spray sealer like this. You know, it's just, you know, a satin or a matte is what you want, because and I don't worry about the overspray getting on the top surface because it's matte. So that's what I'm going to do next. And then what you could do is, well, I actually see a few Mars here and stuff, but I would use a kneaded eraser. Let me grab it real quick. It's not really a mar, it's just kind of, I don't know, it rubbed against something. The one bad thing about this brand is that wrapper that they put on there is very thin. It's a very, very thin cellophane, so it kind of doesn't really protect it all that much. You could add more gesso. I really like using gesso that's in a squirt bottle. And I like using either a soft you know, wide brush like this. This is an 1.5 inch polar flow. This works really nice, dedicated for gesso. Or you could use a bristle brush and get a little bit more texture in there. But it's really not necessary on this. I feel like this is enough gesso on there, but it's up to you. It does give a nice velvety surface to paint on if you do add gesso. If you do add gesso, make sure you let it dry a good, I would say, depending on humidity, it's summer right now, I'd let it dry for about 3 hours and probably add a second coat. You could sand in between coats, probably don't need more than 2 coats. But like I say, I'm not gonna bother doing that. I don't feel like it needs it. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it out and, like I said, I'm gonna spray the edges. I just do a quick spray, holding the can horizontal. I have it on a table that's hip height, so I'm able to spray along the edge. You know, just hold it about, you know, follow the instructions. You want to hold it about, I don't know, what is it, 8-10 inches away. Do a quick spray. I would probably do 2 coats and let it dry for a good hour or 2. And then the last thing is to tape the edges with blue painter's tape. First thing I do is tape the bottom. So let me just turn this over and show you what I mean. So I would take a like a 1 inch or 3/4 inch tape and tape along the whole bottom. And then I would use a wider tape. Let me go grab that. Here it is. Okay, so I would use, this is a 2-inch wide tape, and this would be what I would use on the sides. And just, you want to make it butt up right on this edge when you put it on there. Let me just show you really quick. In case you've never done this, I would pull a piece a little bit longer than the panel. Just pretend this is a really long piece. And then when you line it up, I usually start on one end. Get it lined up just right. You know, place it on there and make sure it's lined up with this top edge of the panel. And then just wrap it around the bottom edge. And, you know, overlapping the 1-inch tape that you put on the bottom. And that's it. So then you're going to have your panel all ready to go. You've got your hanger on it. You sealed the edges so that they are protected, because you do want to protect those edges in case anybody touches them with food on their fingers. You don't want to leave raw wood on a cradled wood panel. And then you've let it dry, and then you've taped with blue painter's tape, so you're all ready to paint the top. So then you're going to trace your design on, and I just did a quick video on how to trace the design on. I traced it on my paper for today's practice lesson, but the same would apply to you know, transferring your design onto a wood panel. You just want to print out the tracer, tape it together nicely with I would use Scotch clear tape, and you know, get it centered. Usually my tracers are aligned on the top left. So here's my tracer. Oops, gotta turn it this way. Here's my 24 by 30 tracer, and what I'm gonna do is line it up. If I could get this in the camera, it's so big. Is that showing? I'm gonna line it up on this top left corner. And then I'm going to tape it down with blue tape and use my Richardson graphite paper. I buy it by the roll from Dick Blick, and just start tracing my lines on using a stylus like this or nail dotter. You can get these at Sally's or on Amazon. So after I have all the lines drawn, I take this off. I don't take it all the way off in case I missed anything, but I clean it up with a kneaded eraser. And then I used I guess I'm repeating the instructions. Then I used a permanent 0.5 fine line marker. Let me grab that. I keep all those in a pencil bag like this, all my little fine liners. So Derwent is a nice one. It's a little more expensive because it's from the UK, but you can also get microns. So here's a micron by Pigma. You can get these on Amazon. 05 seems to be just the right size, I think, for this. Well, actually, it was right for my 12 by 16. For one bigger like this, I would probably use, you could even use a paint pen. Let me show you that. You know, in gray or in black. And this is a Posca paint pen. It's the, let's see, I don't know what point size this is, but this is in our supply list. It's the nib tip. You see that? Hopefully you can see the nib tip. And just carefully draw all of the lines on, and then you're going to be good to go. We want to really draw those lines on. Take your time. I did a quick little tip video about the importance of making sure that your outline shapes on the outside line up with the interior lines, because they all describe these beautiful lines. You want to just take your time and have everything lining up just right. So that's it, you guys. That's going to be your prep step for your panel. I talked about how to prepare a cradled wooden panel and also how to trace the design on, but you can watch the other video I did earlier about tracing the design on. So that's it. I can't wait to paint with you this afternoon at 1 o'clock. See you then. Bye. And that's Central Time. Bye.